não sei nem por onde começar. Mas bem, eu lembro que era meados de 2021 e o Sparkles postava em seu canal um vídeo fazendo um contrato de troca onde ele tinha 20% de chance de vencer a minha Dragon Lore que eu havia comprado cerca de 5 meses antes. Que ele falhou, o contrato ele deu errado.
I'm doing it.
Quando isso aconteceu, eu pensei que a minha Dragon Lore jamais perderia seu trono. Pra mim, não havia mais possibilidade nenhuma de alguém no mundo conseguir skins que possibilitariam a criação de uma lendária sabedoria do dragão com um float menor do que a minha. Quando isso aconteceu, mano, de verdade pensei que a minha Dragon Lore jamais perderia seu trono. Eu tive ainda mais certeza disso quando em novembro de 2023, pouco mais de um ano atrás, eu comprei uma M41S Knight, que havia acabado de ser gerada, que o Sparkles inclusive já estava negociando. Eu furei o olho dele e trouxe a skin para o meu inventário, achando que assim estaria protegendo minha Dragon Lore. Mas como vocês provavelmente já sabem, de nada adiantou. O dia mais esperado de 2024 para a comunidade de skins de CS2 chegou. O Sparkles conseguiu, galera.
Vertigo.
Não uma, nem duas, nem três, mas sim 5 M41S Fade, mais 3 AKB The Monster e 2 AWP Semic serão enviadas para 10 de vocês que esse mês utilizarem o cupom DOG no Keydrop, o melhor, mais seguro e confiável site de abertura de caixas do mundo. Lá, com pouco saldo, abrindo caixas baratas, você pode conseguir até uma faca. E utilizando o cupom DOG, além de 10% de bônus e 50 cents de graça, caso seja a sua primeira vez, preenchendo o formulário que tá na descrição, você concorre simplesmente às 10 novas skins mais raras do novo passe da galeria no CS2. Para cada dólar que você depositar, o formulário pode ser preenchido uma vez, então aproveite, pois são 10 skins raras e caras para 10 pessoas diferentes. Não perca tempo, que drop é o caminho, mas tenha responsabilidade. O link do site e do formulário estão na descrição. Mais um vídeo aqui no canal Cachorro 1337, Rian aqui. E pessoal, eu tô fazendo questão aqui de gravar esse vídeo sem estar usando preto, pra deixar bem claro que eu não estou de luto pela minha Dragon Lore. Até porque eu já sabia disso, mano. Eu já sabia que isso aconteceu há pelo menos 10 dias. 2 semanas atrás eu postei um vídeo aqui no canal para contar para vocês que o Sparkles havia me contado o dia que ele faria o contrato da nova Dragon Lore. E esse dia foi no dia 7, no caso sábado retrasado. Depois que eu postei esse vídeo, o Sparkles me chamou na Steam para dizer que as M41S Knight que ele fez melhor do que a minha, elas jamais apareceram no database. Coisa que, mano, eu já sabia, só que já que ele assistiu o meu vídeo, provavelmente usando ali a legenda do YouTube, né, a tradução do YouTube, ele deve ter entendido alguma coisa errada. Então eu fiz questão de explicar pra ele que, mano, ele provavelmente só entendeu errado mesmo. E aí eu, pô, desejei sorte a ele, agradeci ali por não deixar ficar registrado nenhuma M41S melhor do que a minha. Na verdade, até aqui, eu achava que ele tinha uma M41S melhor do que a minha. Aí ele revelou que tinha duas, né, eu fiquei, pô, até meio que surpreso. E aí eu parabenizei pela nova Dragon Lore Top 1. E ele falou, pô, eu não disse que acertei, não foi 100%. Eu respondi dizendo que ele não precisava mentir pra mim e que eu não postaria um vídeo contando antes que ele porque seria imoral. Aí ele respondeu, bem, se você quer a verdade, a sua foi derrotada. Isso, galera, na segunda-feira, dia 9, ou seja, eu sei que a minha Dragon Lore foi vencida há pelo menos 11 dias. Não à toa, né, algumas pessoas aí repararam, mas eu já havia até trocado aqui a name tag da minha Dragon Lore, colocando hashtag 2 no final, ou seja, indicando que agora ela é top 2 mundial, não mais top 1. Agora, como isso aconteceu, é isso que veremos juntos, porque o Sparkles postou um vídeo contando toda a trajetória aí do contrato e, por fim, né, fazendo ele. Eu não sei nem qual que é o float da skin, de verdade. O vídeo tá aqui, deixei, mano, pra assistirmos juntos, tô bem ansioso. Os amigos já me deram até um spoiler dizendo que ele chorou, então vamos ver aqui. Cara, deixa um like no vídeo, se inscreva no canal. É um dia histórico e eu não tô triste, tá ligado? Então assim, vamos curtir esse momento, vamos comemorar, até porque é algo histórico, é algo que, mano, nunca será esquecido. E o mais legal é que não só vivenciamos, como participamos dessa história. Eu e vocês.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for the final conclusion to my journey to the #1 float Dragon Lore in existence. For many years, I have tried and failed at great time and expense to create the rank #1 lowest float of this legendary skin. In 2024, I have been dedicating the most time and the most money I ever have chasing any skin that I've ever chased. After having to craft the majority of these M4A1S Knights myself, due to scarcity, we currently stand at a 90% chance to hit it. Well,
não tinha como dar errado.
That's how we ended part 2 of the journey. However, since then, foolishly, in a recent video, I could not help myself, and I used one of the higher float knights in a 5% contract. Unsurprisingly, this was a huge waste of a $10,000 skin, and the 1 in 20 odds did not come through. This actually leaves us with an 80% chance at the number 1 Dragon Lore instead of what we finished with, which was a 90%. In this video, it is time to attempt to boost our odds from an 80% back up. To do this, I've been preparing. I sent my fellow YouTuber, Tech Savvy Scientist, $5,000 and instructed him to return as many low float mil-specs from the Cobblestone collection as he possibly could. This required gathering low float industrial skins and throwing them in trade-offs for low odds and hitting the Cobblestone collection mil-spec.
Começou lá de trás,
fantastically, and the video will be on his channel of him attempting all of these Cobblestone mil-specs. Big shout out to Tech Savvy for doing this for me, by the way. I'll leave his details and the video down below in the description. Spoiler alert, he managed to return 29 mil-specs to me. It's my job to take these mil-specs, try and turn them into low float chalices. Final attempt at some chalices. Thank you so much.
Só pra explicar aqui, a Dragon Lore é a skin mais top da coleção da Cobblestone. Pra chegar na Dragon Lore, você precisa de uma M4A1 Ice Knight. Porém, pra chegar até a M4A1 Ice Knight, né, a skin de raridade inferior da Knight na coleção da Cobblestone é essa CZ, né, a CZ Cálice. Então ele chamou um amigo pra ajudá-lo a conseguir várias da P2000, eu esqueci o nome, enfim, que serão utilizadas no contrato pra Cálice, a Cálice pra M4A1S e da M4A1S pra Dragon Lore Top 1. Vou tentar pausar o mínimo possível aqui, galera, senão o vídeo já é longo, mais longo ainda.
He's informed me the most optimized way to do these trade-ups is basically having 2 items in from the Cobblestone collection mixed with 8 fillers. This gives us a 16.67% chance at a usable chalice.
16,67 baixo.
Desert Eagle hand cannon, which is of course float capped, so unusable. I have been doing a bunch of these contracts off camera and amazing.
Usando só mais uma vez, prometo que eu vou evitar ao máximo. Usando essa P250, ele tem ali uma chance de conseguir a Cálice e uma chance também de conseguir a Desert Eagle. Só que a Desert Eagle, embora também seja da coleção da Cobblestone, não é boa. Por quê? Porque ela tem um limite de float. Ele precisa de itens com floats baixos. Até porque o objetivo final é a Dragon Lore com o melhor float do mundo. Então assim, tarefa difícil, mano. Muito arriscada.
Recently. However, there were a hell of a lot of fails included.
Você conseguiu uma,
joined by my
nossa,
lucky cat.
Do gato no meio do bagulho.
Great sign. We have 15 contracts, which means 15 chances at usable chalices. Contract number 1 of 15. Let's go. Oh, fail. As a little reminder, I gave Tech Savvy $5,000 to make all of these inputs for me, and he did great. He did really good. I got a lot more inputs than I would if I were buying them off the market for that money. Here goes nothing. Attempt number 2, 16% chalice. Oh, fail. Number 3, show me that Cobblestone collection. Oh, fail.
Cara, falhou todos.
4. We need some luck, Kitty. Come on, let's go. Let's see the Cobblestone. Oh no, we see the Cobblestone. Wrong item, I guess. You get what you wish for, right? Very nice float hand cannon, but not a chalice. There's a very real possibility that we could get absolutely no chalices through all of these items. It's so hard to make these chalices in the first place, which makes my 9 nights so far just absolutely mind-blowing. Chalice time. We gotta start seeing some chalices. Come on, Gaben. Lego. Is the 0 out of 15 about to happen? I don't want to curse it. Even if that does happen, we can still try and work with what we got. Chalice time. Oh no, second hand cannon. It's time.
Quando vem a Desert Eagle ainda.
Show us it. And again. So much work went into getting all of these 30 Cobblestone items. They all had to be traded up to. Are we going to burn through absolutely all that money and all that work in a split second for absolutely nothing?
Mano, ele queimou tudo e não conseguiu uma Cálice, velho.
Please show me a chalice.
Ó.
Just one. Just one singular chalice from all of these 15 crazy expensive contracts. Let's go. We only have 3 contracts remaining. Not looking great, ladies and gentlemen. It really is not looking fantastic.
É muito azar, velho.
Let's go, Chalice. Hey!
Finalmente.
Finally!
Finalmente.
We actually hit one. We hit one. Amazing. I don't think it's the best float yet because I ran out of really, really low float items to put in, but this is usable. And our very last contract. Can we squeeze out another cheeky Chalice right at the end? Let's find out. We got one. We got 1 out of 15 and the float is not even that great. There's been a lot of pain on this journey so far, and this was painful. That night, no pun intended, I was very frustrated after the failure of all of these mil specs only hitting one single chalice. So I decided to use one of my higher float chalices and whack it in a 10% trade up for a low float night. This is what happened. Yup, MP9 Wild Lily in low float. I'm not arguing with that one too much. I think that's a pretty
Financeiramente não foi ruim.
It can't be used in our journey whatsoever.
Embora seu objetivo fosse
At
M4S.
the footage, I realized I didn't even throw the chalice into the contract. I had completely left it out by mistake. So it was time to actually put it into a contract this time for another 10% at a low float night, and boom, magically the 10% had come through, creating a really, really nice low float night that is usable in this journey, somehow forgiving my mistakes of throwing the other night into a 5% and replenishing my stock of nights with a brand new, even lower float fresh night. Despite spending probably around the 6-figure mark on all of these videos in total in this entire journey attempting to create the #1 Dragon Lore, I don't have a sponsor for this video. The reason being, I'd like to mention something else to all of you, something I hold pretty close to my heart. My girlfriend of the last 5 years, whom I'm sure you've seen in many of my videos, she has been working extremely hard lately, pouring her heart and soul into her first ever startup business. She's put every ounce of money she has in this whole world into this thing, and it was kind of my idea. At first, I caught her doodling designs in her spare time, and I really liked what I saw. So I encouraged her to combine her love for art and her love for fashion, and to try and start something on her own. I've seen every single aspect of her journey from the very beginning, from not believing it could ever work to the amazing state that it's in today. Introducing...
Muito foda. Apoiando o trampo da mina. Infelizmente não deve entregar aqui no Brasil, né? Eu até pularia essa parte do vídeo. Mas, por respeito ao Sparkles, é a esposa dele, né? Por mais que não venda no Brasil, vai que tem alguém morando lá no Reino Unido, né? Se eu não tô enganado, ele é do Reino Unido. Muito top, mano. E aparenta ter muita qualidade também.
You wear a bunch in my videos anyway. I'm never gonna have any merch whatsoever, so this is kind of the closest thing you can get to it. However, this is so much more than just merch. This is an entire clothing brand with hopefully a bright future ahead of it. If you're interested in checking out what she has created and is selling to the world.
Opa, vendendo para o mundo? Ah, talvez entregue no Brasil, hein? Sparkles, manda uma pra nós. Tamanho GG. G.
Everybody in the comments from the last part of this journey was saying, now that you've got a 90%, you gotta make it a 100%. You've come this far, you cannot possibly risk it. The chances of that 10% coming through and ruining absolutely everything. A lot of
mano, de verdade, cara. Quando eu fiquei sabendo quanto que ele gastou, né, nessa brincadeira aí, mais de 100 mil dólares, já não tava torcendo contra. Depois disso, eu comecei a ficar 100% torcendo pra dar certo, tá ligado? Porque, gente, 100 mil dólares aí, 10% pra dar errado, dá errado. Eu prefiro ver o cara chorando de felicidade por ter me vencido do que de tristeza, sabe? Pra algo que, mano, de verdade, pra mim já não vai mudar nada. A minha Dragon Lore no top 1, top 2 eu não vou vender. Então eu tava torcendo pra que ele ganhasse mesmo e assim seja, pô.
I put together a very, very special contract. And I was joined by my friend Drutut, and we made a deal together. A shot at another night for a 100% was on the table. Here's how it went. Yo, yo. firstly, happy birthday.
Thank you already. Those wishes were very
Aniversário dele, legal.
I'm happy you hit that wild lily on your birthday. That's awesome.
You don't know, my hand when clicking the button was like really shaking, and like from now on I made a vow. I am never ever doing like a contract, expensive one, or like gambling on my like a special day ever again.
It could ruin it all, right? I haven't told my audience the deal.
You can explain it because with my broken English, I understand.
So you have very, very kindly provided me 2 inputs from the St. Mark collection in Quad Zero format. That is because your ultimate dream and #1 skin ever of all time, if I'm not mistaken, is the MP9 Wild Lily.
Yes, it is in fact a skin that I've always wanted to go for, but I am not a multi-millionaire.
Well, it's your birthday today, and you hit that birthday contract for the #2.
Yeah.
And that's incredible.
O sonho do cara é ter uma Wild Lily como melhor fosse do mundo. De fato, é uma skin espetacular.
Our deal is you provide these to me for free, and then if I hit the MP9 Wild Lily, I give that to you for free.
Yes,
Legal.
that's the deal. Basically, I'm giving you 2 fillers
Yep.
for free,
Yep.
but if you hit, at least one person is walking away with a smile.
Exactly. To be honest, if I hit that, I'm still walking away with a smile because it's kind of like
Yeah.
fate because it's your birthday.
It is, but trust me, like no matter what, as long as it's not the goddamn Franklin or the R8
Yeah.
revolver, I am so happy, bro. Like, I already got my birthday gift. I had an amazing time with my family, my audience, and everything.
Oh,
Legal,
And now
muito fofo.
closing out the day with you. It's
I
gonna
love
be
to
very
hear
good.
it. If we have a look at
Pra quem não entendeu, o Drutut, que inclusive foi quem criou, né, M4A1S Night Top Mundial, que ainda é top mundial, mas chegou a ser top 3 por conta do Sparkle, enfim. É aquele cara que iria vender pro Sparkles, mas aí eu furei o olho, comprei, de nada adiantou, mas enfim. Aí só pra quem não entendeu, ele fez um acordo aqui com o Sparkles, que ele cedeu 2 skins que podem gerar no contrato de troca, uma MP9 Wild Lily, contudo, também pode gerar M4A1S Night. Se vier M4A1S Night, as skins ficam pro Sparkles. Se vem a Wild Lily, o Sparkles, mano, se comprometeu em dar a Wild Lily pra ele de graça, né? De graça não, que o cara mudou 2 skins, mas assim, teriam mais custos aí, mas assim, no fim foi um acordo justo.
ones and the #2s and everything we're using for this. It's pretty crazy. We're using the #2 Emerald Pinstripe, using #5 Amber Fade, using #3 Emerald Pinstripe, using #4 Emerald Pinstripe, using the #1 Desert Eagle York
I heard
Magnet,
about that.
which is just absolutely ridiculous. Tech Savvy crafted this with 5 zeros and then 6666666. It's so sick. So if this gets deleted and we get like a P250 or
We won't.
yeah, okay. I'm not even gonna say that. The #2 Chalice, the
Crafted by me.
#2 Icarus Fell,
Also crafted by me.
the #3 Chalice, the #2 Midnight Lily, and
Also by me.
the #2 Sea Calicos.
As well, my created. In case you couldn't tell, I love those like purple items. Like I love mil-spec contracts so much. Those are my favorite to do.
The outcomes, they're all #1s.
Wait, even R8 and P250?
I haven't checked those, and I don't want to check those. All right, I'm
Okay,
not,
we don't check, we don't
yeah,
check, we
we're
don't
not.
check.
That's not gonna happen. 20% new Wild Lily, 5 zeros. 20%
Yeah.
new #1 Knight. That is the absolute ideal outcome for me, to be honest, because then I can whack it in the #1 D-Law trade-off. I have 6 zeros. Yeah,
6-0,
yeah, that's
6-0-9.
E aí vence a minha.
disgusting.
That's insane.
Also, #1 Poseidon. I could beat my own #1 Poseidon here. Yeah, but I wouldn't be too unhappy with it, you know? It's better than the terrible
Alright.
thing. The last good out.
Eles não querem citar a coisa terrível, que no caso seria dropar por 250 Franklin e o revólver R8.
Ironically, worth a lot. I don't
Yeah,
know. Realize that.
No, I know. I know it's worth a lot. One of them's in already.
Nossa
Wait,
senhora.
can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you put the OG in slot 1 and the Calico in slot 6?
Just because it's your
make the
birthday.
Yeah,
Números da
because my
sorte.
birthday is on 16th of November.
Yeah,
And I was
okay.
thinking to put it on 11. Like, I will just be honest, I am not a liar. I am just here screaming for the MP9,
Of
right?
course.
I
you
am
are.
just screaming for the MP9, but I assure you, no matter what, as long as it's a good outcome, I will be happy, and it has been an amazing birthday for me.
No.
And if you can walk away with a smile, that's also a smile.
Legal. Todo mundo abraçando a causa, cara.
Shout out to
Muito
everyone
top.
watching, guys. Make sure to comment and like in advance.
Nunca imaginei que eu torceria pelo Sparkles, velho. Juro, nunca, mano.
Please, not sparkles with you.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, yeah. I'm probably I'm probably gonna cover my eyes for it because it's so scary. How much do you think this contract is, by the way?
The
It's
Deagle
gotta
is
be
worth like
Caraca, só a
4k.
Deagle $4 mil.
The AUG is like 3k, so 4k, 3k. Then the Skull is like 2.5k out. No, like 2k. Then the Chalices are both
Vai dar uns
3k.
$20 mil
And
esse
each hero
contrato.
is like a 1,000.
$20 mil.
15 to 20k range. Yes.
Caraca, mano, $20 mil eles têm a chance de pegar uma P250 Franklin. Eu não tenho coragem de fazer isso. Não tenho, mano. Não tenho.
Cagão sem exceção.
De verdade. De verdade.
Whatever brings the most luck.
Ah, mas você
is what we need.
gasta mais que isso no Keydrop. Mano, tá bom, mas tipo assim,
Shit!
Keydrop não tem a chance de ser tão ruim, tá ligado?
Jeden! Go!
Não.
Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my goodness.
I just woke up my entire family.
That is pain.
I am so sorry for you, man.
I'm so sorry that you didn't hit the lily.
No. Mid, it doesn't matter. I am so sorry for you, man.
It's number one P250 Wrangler.
Muito
Is this
dinheiro
number
jogado
one?
fora,
It
velho.
is. Yeah, we did
Muito
it.
dinheiro jogado
We did
fora,
it.
velho.
A ginormous fail.
Nossa, mano, $20 mil por uma P250 Franklin,
Number
velho.
one P250
Porra, mano.
Franklin. It could not have gone worse. So much money wasted. And it was back to the drawing board. The current number one Dragon Lore is quite legendary. It has the float of
Aí ele tá falando da minha.
1337 420 69. This is, of course, ultimate meme skin.
Esse scope tá muito esticado, Sparkles. Essa réplica aí pode melhorar um pouco.
Better, more memey float than that. And it took Frankfurter a very, very long time to get all of the inputs for and craft, and this was many, many years ago where it would have been considerably easier than nowadays. He has then sold this D-Lore to one of the biggest Brazilian streamers in the whole scene. I can't really say his name correctly, but Cachorro?
Tá show?
Who I have been battling with in this journey. For those of you who don't remember, I tried to buy the old number one Knight before I created the new one for around $8,000, which was a very reasonable price, and he came along and offered double 16,000, and surprise, surprise, he got the Knight. He was basically throwing this much money at the Knight to try and stop me from crafting the new number one Dragon Lore,
Sim,
which makes perfect
era
sense
objetivo
because
na
he
época.
owns the number one Dragon Lore, and why would he want his to become number two? He said he would love to join me and be there at the time that I tried to create
Sim.
this number one, and I asked him, why would you want that? You're not going to be exactly there to cheer me on. Like, it might be a moment of sadness for you. And he said, it's something historic. Having the opportunity to witness it is spectacular.
De
So
fato.
big shout out to him for being so humble and just wanting
Oh,
to
tamo
watch
junto.
a historic event, despite it possibly
Tamo junto.
creating him some financial loss. I said, unfortunately, I think our timings are going to be a bit off, so I'm not sure you can be there. However,
bateu.
the number one Knight that I created, I will not register on the database. I'm just going to delete it in the contract. So whatever happens, your number one Knight stays your number one Knight. He
Pô,
said,
mano.
good luck, bro. Thank you for not registering the real number one Knight. You, above all, are a nice person. Despite these little skin battles I inevitably end up having with people when I'm trying to craft new number ones, he's shown his true colors, and his support for me, despite what I'm trying to do, is insane. So big, big love to him. Before finalizing this insane contract, I saw this clip from Oni.
I think the new number one will be
Eu lembro
not
desse clipe.
as a nice number one. Why? And I kinda hate Sparkles for doing this, but I told him this already, but I also respect it, of course. But look at this number one, the current number one Orb Dragon Lord. The float is 0.0000 1337 420 69. I hope Sparkles just doesn't do random float. Would be nice if at least a 69 or something.
This inspired me to try and put even more effort and even more expense
Top.
into this journey by creating a special float number 1 dragon.
Resumindo, mais uma vez, o que o One Pixel sugeriu é que o Sparkles não só criasse uma Dragon Lore Top 1 mundial, um float final de caminho, não. Que ele fizesse ali uma nova Dragon Lore com números especiais, números que significassem algo. Assim como acontece com a minha, né? Que é um 337, 420, 69. E aí começou as
What
contas.
we could create, what we couldn't create, and after a couple of hours
Nossa,
or
que
so
bagunça,
in it all
cara.
together,
Que bagunça, não terá nem
we
capacidade
built
pra
the
fazer
map,
algo desse tipo, velho.
came up with the creation of a skin that could possibly lead us to create
Nossa!
0.00011111111 dragon.
Som.
This would be absolutely unreal. It wouldn't
Seria
be easy. We'd
inacreditável.
have to craft the specific skin that we needed down the chain and then work our way up the chain. Then, if we even managed to hit it, in the final contract, this would mean we had to input the M4A1S blue phosphor as the 10%, which would mean we'd have a 10%, I don't even want to say it, a 10% shot at the Orb phase.
Gente, mais de 100 mil dólares gastos em um contrato de troca que, ok, 90% de chance de criar a nova Dragon Lore Top 1 mundial, mas 10% de chance se vira uma Alp Fade, tá ligado? Alp Fade que, pô, não custa acho que nem 1.200 dólares hoje em dia. Tendo o custo de 100 mil dólares, pô, a chance de dar errado podia ser 1%. Qualquer pessoa ainda teria medo. E muito medo. Eu tava com medo por ele.
During our call, we really dove deep down the CS float tunnel and came up with 2 contracts. One a 60% and one a 30%. Both an emerald pinstripe, which if we managed to hit it, we could use that in a restricted contract that would give us a 20% at an M4A1S Knight with the correct float to then put in to the 90% Dragon Lore contract to give us that 11111111 special float Dragon Lore. Firstly, I attempted the 30%. Fail. Yes, we hit the Amber Fade instead of the Emerald Pinstripe. Big rip, but all hope was not lost.
Big
I
rip.
then attempted the 60% Emerald Pinstripe contract. Fail. Chance had screwed us, and it was well and truly back to the drawing board. This time, we calculated 2 more contracts. One to once again give us the emerald pinstripe needed for that 11111111 number 1 float Dragon Lore, which would still be a 20% at the night, and then a special backup float contract. This would give us a 70% at an emerald pinstripe usable that we could chuck into a 40% for a night that would give us the correct float at a 90% Dragon Lore with the float 00001234567. However, failing either of these 2 contracts,
Cara, eu acho o float 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ou sei lá, até o 6 só, mais legal que o 1. Mais legal mesmo é ter a Dragon Lore Top 1.
that we'd have a 90% at the number 1 Dragon Lore. However, it wouldn't be in special float, but if these 2 fail, then it just wasn't to be, and we'll still attempt it anyway. So I gathered all the skins needed for that suitable float emerald pinstripe to create the knight that creates the 11111 Dragon Lore,
Que trampo, velho. Que trampo, mano.
we hit it. 20% shot at that night is now possible. Now it was time to create the emerald pinstripe with a specific float to create the specific float knight that would create the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dragon Lore. And once again, we smashed it. Not only did we have a 20% at the night to create the 1111, we also now had a 40% to create the knight of the 1, 2, 3, 4. The final 2 pieces of the puzzle have now been unlocked. It's time to attempt our custom contracts. This is the 20% at the night with the perfect float for the 1111 Dragon Lore. We've also got a whole bunch of options in here. We have the Poseidon. It won't be the number 1 because I already hit the number 1. And this hydroponic won't be the number 1 hydroponic because I already hit that too. But we have 30% and some very
Não é
scary,
possível que-
terrible options.
Novamente, ganha por
Final
50.
item.
Impossível.
To this contract. the one that we took a long time crafting, failed at many times, and boom, there it is. 20% at a night. With a low enough float that's usable for the 111111 number 1 Dragon Lore. These skins, for reference, they are not cheap. This is the number 1 Daybreak, for example. This alone cost $3,000, and all of the other skins you see in here are also pretty much thousands of dollars. Insane contract. 30% for absolute garbage. 20% Negev Moldy. 10% AK-47 Hydroponic. 20% Poseidon. 20% Knight. If we hit this 20% Knight, we got a shot at that special float. We will try our absolute best to make it happen. My heart's beating out of my chest right now, and we haven't even got to the final contract. This is absolutely insane. An entire year of work. So much time, effort, expense, calculations, everything. Let's try 20%. Count it down with me, ladies and gentlemen. 3,
2, 1.
1. M4A1 S Knight. Oh! No way! No way! No way did we just hit that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know what this means? You know what this means, guys. You know what this means. We have to use the blue phosphor. It means the final contract's ready to go, and we have to use the blue phosphor for a 10%. Oh my goodness. We need to check the night. We need to make sure it is the correct float. There it is.
Melhor que a minha, velho.
6, 7,
Mas ninguém
7,
nunca...
7,
Quer dizer,
9.
vão saber, mas não tá registrado.
Okay. Shit just got real. This alone is insanity. Ooh, I can't register this on the database because this is actually technically now the new number 1 float Knight. So I actually have the number 1 and the number 2. If I registered both of them on the database, poor Kakoro, his Knight would be knocked down to a number 3 instead of a number 1.
Bem que ele foi humilde comigo, velho.
Absolute insanity. I cannot believe that we just hit that 20%. It leaves one final contract remaining, and you guys know what that contract is. No more messing about with chalices. No more messing about with mil-specs, Dark Ages, P2000 chainmails. One final step remains, which means we gotta pull this guy out of storage. Oh dear. Oh dear. Come on then, get out of there. I had already done all the math and all the calculations for most likely failing this 20% contract. Look, I've already got the other 40% one, all calculated, all ready to go with the correct float of the night and everything, but we don't need it. Instead, this is what the contract is going to look like. 90% at a Dragon Lore with 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
1, 1.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Mas diz na periódica quase.
10% at an Warp Fade.
Que seria horrível, velho. Seria horrível.
Is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying this journey so far, please smash that like button. Near enough $100,000 is about to be raised. All on the line to make history. I need to check the specific flow of these Knights so incredibly closely. First Knight into the contract. Second Knight, the 20% we just hit and calculated perfectly into the contract. Final item into the contract. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The number 1 Dragon Lore. The contract I have spent 1 year or so leading up to this point. I just want to remind everyone that this was not done for financial gain. Whatever comes out of this contract will be at great financial loss, even if it is the outcome that we want. This isn't about money. This is about legacy. This
Legal.
is about
Exato.
legend. This is about success in the face of defeat. Being mad enough to do the thing that so many people said was not possible and proving all of them wrong. If I were to hit this, this will be my greatest gaming achievement ever. Sure, unboxing a souvenir Dragon Lore. That was amazing. Sure, unboxing the lowest
É a história sendo feita, galera.
item in the entire world with one in a
Inacreditável, cara.
billion chance. That was
Inacreditável,
amazing.
cara.
But this is
Nossa,
so much
deixa eu
more.
até me ajustar na
Those
cadeira
were
aqui.
events of pure luck, pure chance. This is something different. This has been a journey with struggle, failure, frustration, expense, having to stand back up so many times.
Curiosidade, tá? Eu ofereci pra ele a minha M41S fake top 1 mundial. Ele tem um contrato de 100% de chance. Ele negou. E assim, ele negou porque qual que é a graça de fazer um contrato que você tem 100% de chance? Qual a graça de fazer um contrato onde todo mundo já sabe o resultado? Então foi a opção dele ter esses 10% de risco. No lugar dele, provavelmente não teria culhão pra arriscar, tá ligado? Muito foda.
Brutally
Muito foda.
beaten down. But today is the day we complete our journey and arrive at its final destination. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on this. It's
A
time.
gente sabe que deu certo.
It's time. 90%.
Só que a gente fica ansioso do mesmo jeito, mano.
Number
Inacreditável.
Dragon Lore. 10% number 1 Orb Fade. Count it down with me. 10. I'm gonna have to cover my eyes for it as well. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Remember, always chase your dreams, no matter how hard they are. Let's go!
Eu ia demorar 1 hora pra tirar a mão da cara, velho.
Let's go!
Puta que, mano. Inacreditável, gente. Inacreditável,
I'm
mano.
sorry, I am so sorry. Oh my goodness, boys. We have to check the float. We have to check it. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Cheio de um, mano. Cara, se eu fosse ele, eu
We did
nunca venderia isso, mano.
We did it. We did it. Ladies and gentlemen, the new number 1 Dragon Lore. I want to say a
Foda,
huge
cara.
shout
Muito
out
foda.
to absolutely everybody involved in this journey. I want to name everyone, but there's so many people I would forget. This is an
Caraca, velho.
absolutely historic moment. I never thought I'd cry over a CS skin.
Como assim você pensou que nunca choraria por uma skin, mano? Você chorou quando conseguiu a Gungnir e não vai chorar pela Dragon Lore, pai? É louco.
We did it.
Mano, muito
I know a
foda,
lot of
velho.
you will
Muito
be
foda,
watching
mano.
this just before Christmas,
Caraca,
so
top,
I
cara.
hope you have the absolute best Christmas. Remember what's important. Friends, family, loved ones. You guys are absolutely incredible, and I did this for you as much as I did this for me. I could not be happier with how this turned out, and I hope this shows the
Cara.
world that Counter-Strike is more than just a game to some of us. I love our community, and I'm so privileged and proud to be in the position that I'm in, and it's
Eu também,
all
mano.
because of you guys. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. And I hope everybody watching this has an amazing Christmas and
You
an
are
even
mate,
better
man.
New Year. It's
Que foda,
finally
man.
time
Que foda, mano.
for me to take my rightful place in this museum display in the very center. The number 1 Orb Dragon. I hope all of you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
É isso, pessoal. Cara, meus parabéns, Sparkles. Mostrar agora pra vocês aqui a minha na segunda colocação, 0.0001337.420.690. É do Sparkles, os mesmos 4 zeros, só que depois só vem um, né? No finalzinho ele tem 2, 3. Pô, cara, clicando aqui em sua Steam, já encontramos ela. Dá pra inspecionar. E aqui tá a Dragon Lore Top 1 Mundial. Inspecionando no jogo, só aparece um, não chega até o 2 e o 3. Galera, pô, histórico, mano. Histórico. Não tô triste, tá ligado? Não tô com raiva, de verdade. É aquilo que eu já disse aí pelo menos umas 3 vezes no canal e falo agora novamente. Eu sempre deixei bem claro que eu jamais venderia essa skin. Eu vendo tudo que tá no meu inventário, exceto essa Dragon Lore. Óbvio, se em algum momento aí aparecesse um chinês oferecendo 500 mil dólares, aí não tem como, né? Mas isso dificilmente iria acontecer. Então, sabendo que eu jamais venderia essa skin, tipo, mano, ela sendo top 1, top 2, top 3, pra mim pouco importa, tá ligado? Eu construí uma história com ela. Ela tem ali um 337. Eu até cheguei a negociar com o Sparkles de enviar a minha M4A1S Knight, que até então era top 1 mundial, pra ele criar uma nova Dragon Lore top 1 mundial que também tivesse um 337. Ele topou, ele até bolou ali um contrato que isso aconteceria, porém, eu desisti disso porque eu percebi que é essa que eu fiz história. É essa que, se eu em algum momento visse pelo mundo em outra conta, eu ficaria triste, tá ligado? Então essa eu não troco por nada. Meus parabéns, Sparkles, eu de coração tava torcendo pra você merecia isso. E pra quem tá vendo esse vídeo e sonha em ter uma Dragon Lore, eu quero lembrar que quem depositar no CSGO Skins utilizando o cupom DOG, mano, fazendo ali o depósito mínimo necessário, que são $2, automaticamente participa do sorteio de uma AWP Dragon Lore Field Tested de mais de 40 mil reais. Galera, não tem que preencher formulário nenhum, é automático, você entrou no site pelo link da descrição, usou o cupom DOG, fez depósito de $2, além do sorteio da Dragon Lore, você entra automaticamente em vários outros sorteios de facas variadas, inclusive, ó, 4 facas já foram sorteadas para 4 inscritos diferentes. No caso, 2 facas Lores, uma Shadow Daggers e uma Flip. Teve também uma Ursa Aquecimento de Aço e uma Bowie Phase 3. Ainda tem aí para sortear uma outra Bowie, né, no caso uma Tiger Tooth, uma Baileta Tiger Tooth, uma Stilet Fade, Hooker Aquecimento de Aço, Huntsman Lore e uma Karambit Damask Steel. O link do CSGO Skins está na descrição, aproveita que você vai aí embaixo, deixa o like, se inscreva no canal e lembrando, todos os dias tem vídeo novo, e aí eu peço de coração que mesmo inscrito com o sininho ativo, conta própria, passe aqui, período da tarde, de madrugada, porque não é sempre que o YouTube notifica. Inclusive o YouTube inscreve algumas contas do nada aí, então checa se ainda tá inscrito, às vezes você acha que tá, mas não tá. E é isso, manos, tamo junto, valeu, espero que vocês tenham gostado desse vídeo, eu, Ria, vou ficando por aqui, até um próximo vídeo no canal Cachorro 337, falou!